Well, hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here then welcome. I hope you're all good. We've got a nice little chatty sit down, get ready together video incoming, so go put the kettle on, make yourselves a cup of tea or a coffee or whatever it is you fancy, because we're just gonna chill out together. Don't even ask what's going on with my hair, we're gonna get into that in a second, but I just wanted to film a sit down kind of product talk through video of what I'm currently using on my face every single day, from skincare into like my lightweight barely there makeup, because one, I've been getting asked so much about products recently, but two, I had a comment on a vlog recently, or like my last sit down chatty video, somebody saying that they're enjoying the mix of content and me sitting down and just having chit chats every now and then, as well as like the weekly diaries being like crazy weekly vlogs. I did actually pick up the camera and vlog this week a little bit, but not as much as I'd like, so I thought, you know what, instead of putting out just another vlog which was pretty much not much going on like last week, I didn't want to bore you, so I thought we could sit down and do some skin and makeup together, have a little bit of a chit chat, bit of a girly chat, bit of a life catch up. Any product I can link, I will link down below. This is in no way an ad, it's just a random video I've decided to sit down and film to do like a bit of a product run through. Quite a lot of this you're going to be able to get on Look Fantastic. You all know my code ASHALF, so you might as well use it. Okay, first of all, can we just ignore the hair? Somebody went to bed with it wet. That was me, and if you know me and the texture of my hair, that's just not doable. Like, I have to break my arms like blow drying it for it to even be smooth. My hair is so frizzy, so naturally it's really curly. My mum has like gorgeous curly hair, she follows like the curly girl method, but where I've straightened mine and used heat on it for my whole life basically, well since I was able to, I've lost my curl pattern completely, so it's just like a frizzy mess when it dries naturally. I mean, I have like the odd good curl I'd say like underneath, but yeah, generally it's just a frizzy mess. However, I only just washed it last night and I can't be arsed washing it again, and it's going to take that to tame it, so we're just going to deal with this for today. So I am fresh out of the shower and I've cleansed in the shower, but I want to show you like my little double cleanse heroes at the minute because I am so obsessed with this combination. So to start with, we all know I love the LMS Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. To be honest, LMS cleansers are up there with my favourites regardless of what they are, but the cleansing balm is obviously a huge favourite amongst everybody. This, I've literally just grabbed it out of the shower and it's sopping wet. This is so good. If you love the LMS Pro Collagen Cleansing Balms, I urge you to try this because it's so good. It's the LMS Superfood Glow Cleansing Butter. It looks like this, however, the texture of it is so much different to cleansing balm. Like, oh god, sorry, it's a bit of a mess, but can you just see? It's almost like a jelly. I can't really describe it, but you know the balm is really balmy, like you can really feel it. This is more like a gel and it works pretty much the same. Really good at cleaning the skin, removes makeup. However, this literally makes your skin glow, and I feel like for me, you'll notice that my day skin routine at this time of year is like very vitamin C heavy. I'm snoring. Very vitamin C heavy because I lack vitamin C in my skin anyway. I had like a skin report done with L'Oreal and they told me that I was lacking quite a lot of vitamin C. This was a couple of years ago now. It was one of those cameras that tell you about like sun damage, how your skin age looks in comparison to your actual age, and I was very pleased with my results other than the fact that I was lacking vitamin C, but the specialist said to me that it's something that some people just really lack. However, at this time of year, when we get into like the burr months for autumn winter, a lot of us start lacking vitamin C because it's something that is like glowy hydration we get from the sun. Vitamin C, vitamin D is very like summer related, and at this time of year we kind of lose that glow in our skin a little bit. Anyway, that's why I am very much pumping vitamin C into my daytime skincare at this time of year. So that's like my first cleanse, and then my second cleanse is this Murad AHA/BHA exfoliant. It looks like this in this bottle, and this is insane. Now, exfoliators I feel like are very hit and miss, and I feel like some people get on with them and some people don't. This is a very gentle exfoliation. It's there to get rid of the surface dead skin cells, but also with the AHA and the BHA content, add hydration into your skin. So it's got like a very light texture to it. It's not like a scrub like you would see in like a body scrub. It's got a very light texture to it, but it's still like very creamy, so I always go in with this afterwards because I feel like that really gives my skin like that gleaming feel. So these are my little double cleanse duo that I'm actually using morning and night at the minute, these two. So I'm literally clean, fresh out the shower, and now I'm going to go in with where you would normally use like a toner or that kind of thing. That's like the step that we're at. Now I have so many on rotation that I love. The Pixi Glow Tonic one of my absolute favourites. If you've been here a long time, I have literally preached about that product forever. The Ren AHA tonic is incredible, again in like an orangey style bottle, and I also love the Perricone MD anti-blemish. It's in like a small glass like clear solution. Those are like my top 3 toners. However, I do also like, you know, toning pads, ones that are already like pre-treated. Because they're a pre-treated pad, it saves you getting your obviously cotton pad and then your toner and, you know, doing it yourself. However, somebody actually commented on a vlog of mine not that long ago saying that when she gets pads that are like this size, she cuts them in half, because she says like she's got quite a small face. I mean, I feel like I've got a big head, but she says she's got quite a small face, so she only needs half a pad and she literally gets double the use for her money. And I'm like, God, that's so clever. So if anyone's got a face on the smaller side, cut your pads in half. Anyway, again, a vitamin C based product. These are the Rhodial Brightening Cleansing Pads, vitamin C. So they're for brightening and renewing the skin. I'm pretty much sure this is my last 2 in here, and they just come like this, and they've not got too much product on, which I like. They're not like soppy, but these are just so good for brightening the skin. I literally just swipe these all over the skin. My skin hasn't been the best lately. It's really purging at the minute, which I feel like does happen at this time of year for me, and probably a lot of people, like as we change seasons in the UK. I feel like it's quite a drastic change, like, you know, you feel the cold all of a sudden. I feel like we have that here, especially because I feel like it's been warmer for longer this year. But yeah, my skin, I've been having breakouts on my chin. You can probably see a little bit of like scarring I've got going on around my nose, which hasn't been great. Moving on, and probably the final bit of vitamin C that I'm going to mention, I've been obsessed with this forever. It's the L'Oreal Revitalift Pure 12% Vitamin C Serum. I am so obsessed with this. It looks like this. Literally it's like orange in the tube. I rebuy it. I think I go through like one of these a month. I absolutely adore it. It's one of the best vitamin C's that I've used, and it's so affordable. Just dot this all over and rub it into my skin. It's honestly the best thing for me at this time of year to add like that glow back into my skin that I tend to like lose. I go like a bit dull in colour, obviously like where the sun's not out, and I just feel like with that comes like a bit of lack of like shine in my skin, if that makes sense. I've just realised my music's gone off. Just add such a nice glow into your skin. Okay, so layering serums isn't for everybody. Like if you want to just go straight in with your moisturizer after that, then obviously absolutely do that. But I have found a serum at the minute that works so well hand in hand with other serums. Like the vitamin C is a very concentrated product. It's a very targeted product, so it's good to add something on top, I find, before a moisturizer. Now, this Quarterly Instant Firming Serum here, I was reading on TikTok, is apparently like a facelift in a bottle, right? And I thought, God, everybody always has these taglines with products that make you buy it and then they're not actually that good. Guys, this is my second bottle of this. I love Quarterly as a brand anyway. It's one of my favourites. This is so good. I genuinely feel like it is tightening and firming my skin in certain areas, and it's very rare that products that are so hyped actually do what people say, but this really does. So I just use a couple of pumps of this. Comes out like a milky texture, and then I just rub it into my fingers, and then I just kind of pat it onto the skin to work it in initially, and then when it like dries down, because like I say it's a very milky texture, I then go in with a bit of a more of a rubbing motion over the patting motion. I just like it to tap out a little bit first. For moisturiser, I am going to use the Drunk Elephant Polypeptide Moisturiser in the squeezy tub bottle. I just absolutely adore this. Oh, haven't even cleaned it from the last time I mixed it with Bronzy Drops, which was like a couple of days ago, which is gross. So I'm going to do 2 pumps. And then I'm going to mix in my La Roche-Posay SPF, which I use absolutely every single day. This is my favourite SPF. L'Oreal do a great one as well. So do Ren, but the Ren one's quite thick, leaves like your classic sunscreen mask on your face. This is super water weight. Like I can't even describe how good this is for not even feel like you've put SPF on your skin, because it can clog pores annoyingly, some SPF. Literally mix it in. You'll see now how runny it is. Honestly, I just don't think there's a better SPF than La Roche-Posay. Has anybody found one that they like as much as that? I'm just going to grab a spoolie and brush my brows up, because I got them laminated and tinted literally a couple of days ago. Eyes and lips. Now, to be honest, I don't do this step every single day. If I'm having a complete no makeup day, then eyes and lips product, skincare wise, always. Not always on my own makeup, because sometimes I just feel like it's a bit unnecessary. However, I'm going to let this soak into my skin a little bit, go makeup and stuff before I do my makeup. And for the sake of showing you 2 products that I'm bloody obsessed with at the minute, I just really want to give these a little shout out. So this is the Ameliorate Intensive Lip Therapy. I have used this forever. It's not even something I'm obsessed with at the minute, but as I go into this time of year, I get quite dry and cracked lips. I never go full like cold sore, like full blown cold sore, but the corners of my lips do get a bit sore. This is one of the best things I have ever put on my lips for sorting them out. I normally put it on at night time. It's got quite a white residue to it, which you'll see in a second. If you are a cold sore or a cracked lip sufferer, I feel like this would be a great recommendation for you. But see, it's quite white, so I normally put it on of an evening or just when I've got time to let it soak in. It's not one of those that you can like pair with a lip liner for like a daytime look, because it just looks like you've got a bit of Sudocreme on your lips. Now this is my top thing that I'm reaching for. I think it is quite spenny. It's the Mother, I think that's how you say it, it's M-U-T-H-A, the Mother Up All Night eye cream. It's the best eye cream ever for under eye brightening. Like, I can't even describe it. It's almost like concealer coloured, like a very light concealer colour, but it's an eye cream. And I just rub it into my 2 fingers and then I just work it under. And I just feel like it's so good if you suffer with dark circles. I really debated getting tear trough filler recently. But Laura, the nurse who does my aesthetic work, she's so good. She actually said to me, Asha, I don't think you need it. I think you literally are just having a bad day with bags. Like, I don't think you've actually got hollows under your eye. Anyway, I'm gonna just let this dry down into my skin. I don't like to go straight in with makeup. So I'm just gonna give this like half an hour to just soak in. I'm back. Let's do some makeup. Now this isn't like my everyday go-to makeup. My everyday makeup is what I would wear if I was like going for a Nando's, going to the cinema, going shopping. This is like the barely there, your face but better, like my throw on, don't want anything crazy makeup. So skin is pretty much already prepped from our skincare. It's fully dried down now, nice and tacky, and I'm not even gonna use a primer or anything. Like I say, it's super lightweight, so just gonna go straight in with my makeup. Now my brows, like I say, are quite freshly laminated, so I'm just gonna quickly take my favourite brow pencil in the world, the Makeup Revolution tiny teeny eyebrow pencil. I think it's called their micro brow pencil. I think I use medium brown. I probably need a bit of a darker one now that my hair's brunette again, but I'm literally just going to fill in a couple of hairs at the front. Now I know what you're all going to think when I show you this product. This girl has been ramming Kylie Skin Tint down our throats for how long, saying how good it is, how amazing it is, and it is. However, today we are going to use the Fenty Skin Tint, which is one of my favourite skin tints in the world. I would go as far as saying I've tried and tested pretty much every like highly rated skin tint, because like I say, I prefer it to a foundation, especially day to day. Now the Kylie Skin Tint is great for like an everyday when you're actually doing something makeup, because it dries down quite matte, so that makes it quite buildable, so you can add a little bit more coverage with it. This Fenty Skin Tint I'd say is like a true skin tint. Like, it literally just adds something to your skin, evens out your skin tone, but has little to no coverage in it. It's quite a magic product. Like, the formula is so unique and I absolutely love it. I think I've got shade 14. To be honest, this is probably going to be a bit too dark for me, because I got this in the summer. The good thing about skin tint is you can be so quick with it, because like I say, it doesn't really have like much coverage packed in it, so you can just throw it on. I mean, the colour's slightly too dark, but I think I can get away with it if I don't apply too much product. Got like an under the skin spot waiting to happen there above my right eyebrow. I don't know if you can see that. I was actually thinking, oh, I'm going to sit down and do like such a chatty makeup video when we got to the makeup, but I feel like I should save my like little life updates for next week's vlog, because I'm going to pick up the camera and do like a full weekly diaries next week. Going back to the gym, I feel like next week's going to be a lot. Event season's kicking off, like Black Friday's very much fast approaching for us influencers, and it's a crazy time of year, November and December, so it's nice to have a couple of weeks downtime beforehand, to be honest. I was literally saying to my friend on the phone last night, I feel like being single in your 30s, right, and dating. So I've only really dated, well, yeah, I have only dated one person in the time that I've been single. I've been single for like just over a year and a half, and I have only like dated one person. Anyway, that's no longer a thing, and that's fine, because that's gonna happen. Like, it was like kind of like my decision to like call it off, and like I've never really done that before. Like, I've always been the one that got dumped, and it wasn't really like a dumping, because like it was nothing, like it was literally a couple of dates and that's that. But I've never really had this experience of like being in like the dating pool. Anyway, I feel like when you are this age, you're really comparing a person. Like, when you're dating a person, I feel like you're comparing them. Like, in your 20s, you're very quick to compare them to the previous person, but at this age, you're literally comparing being around that person, being with that person, to being in your own space and the peace that you have in your life, because we're at a point where we have that, and it's like we're comparing like how we are around them to actually how our life just is without them. And it's such a weird place to be. Like, you're literally comparing someone to your own peace, basically. Like, is this worth getting into? But back to the drawing board on that one, guys. it will happen someday, I'm sure. I'm just so like chilled out and relaxed about it, which is actually a really nice place to be. Like, being okay if it happens and okay if it doesn't is a really, really nice place to be. Just before I move on to my concealer, by the way, I always get asked about this dressing gown. It's the Soho House one, which I picked up in Selfridges. It's the best ever. Are they all right outside? Can you hear that? It's the best ever for like getting ready in, because you literally don't ever see any makeup marks on it. Okay, for concealer I'm going to use, well, it's not really a concealer, it's more like an under eye corrector, but it's the Rodial Banana Lowlighter. And I feel like a lot of where people go wrong if they're doing like a lightweight no makeup like what we're kind of doing today, I feel like they'll go for a lightweight skin tint like the Fenty Beauty skin tint, and then go in with like your normal concealer like your NARS Radiant Longwear. It looks very under eye heavy because you're using like a normal concealer with a lighter sort of rest of your face, so you have to be very careful with what you're putting under your eyes when it comes to pairing it with the skin tint. The Banana Lowlighter by Rodial is one of the best for this. It's a bit of an under eye highlighter, has the tiniest bit of coverage, so it's not going to give you a concealing effect, which means you're not going to have that harsh block against your skin tint. I think I've raved about this for long enough in the past for you guys to know how much I love it. And I literally just dot it in the very under eye section there, and then just take a tiny little bit out here as well. And then I like to blend this out with the beauty blender because it does it very quick and very rough and ready. And I wet this with the Quarterly Beauty Elixir, again a product I have absolutely raved about for so long. I just love this so much. It's such a good all-round product. I wet my beauty blender with it. I use it at the end of skincare of an evening. I use it as a setting spray for this kind of look, which we will do in a bit. And yeah, it's just so nice. I just make sure it's like evenly dispersed on my blender, and then I just work this right in. We're not dragging out the product too much, we just keep bouncing in that one area just so it kind of stays put. Unbelievable. Like, it's honestly one of the best products. It is a product of its kind. Like, it's not really anything like Banana Lowlighter that Rodial do. Sorry if you hear a little piglet snoring. He is on his back on the bed right next to me. I spoke a little bit the other day, actually interestingly, on my Instagram about a book I've been reading. I think I mentioned it in last week's vlog, but I'm really like working on, and as soon as I know enough about it, it's something I will definitely share a lot more of, because I cannot believe the response I had to the story that I posted the other day. It was about stepping out of my masculine energy and into my feminine energy a bit more to be able to attract eventually, when that person arrives, the right person into my life, rather than me being like, I don't need anyone. Like, I feel like, wow, like, I don't need anyone, and like I am so self-sufficient and so independent that I don't need anyone. That is the truth. But do I want someone? Absolutely. But by being like, oh, I don't need anyone, or not even opening that space for somebody in my life, I'm trying to learn to step out of that like masculine energy and allow me to just be more in my feminine energy, and hopefully open up that space. Because by thinking you don't need anyone and literally no one can do anything for you, you literally attract people that can't do anything for you, because what you put out comes to you, right? So it's something I'm really having to train my brain to like think a lot more about, and I absolutely love learning. Like, it's one of my favorite things. I feel like no one can ever know enough about anything in life. Yeah, it's something I'm learning a lot about. So if anybody has any resources about like anyone I can follow or books I can read when it comes to like trying to relax into your feminine a little bit more, then let me know, because it's something I'm learning a lot about at the minute. But when I wrote about it on Instagram anyway, I got so many people replying and being like, oh my god, like, you've literally just opened my eyes to something that I didn't even realise I was doing, and neither did I until somebody had that conversation with me. Anyway, even though I'm doing a really lightweight skin, I do like to have a little bit of intensity in my eyes, because I've got very big bug eyes, I say, and I like to like draw them in a little bit, add a little bit of sultriness to them. Even when I've got barely anything on my face, I like to use a soft brown liner, and this is the Kylie Matte Brown eyeliner. The Kylie Kohl eyeliners are the best. Honestly, Kylie Cosmetics right now is doing bits for me. Like, I'm really, really obsessed with a lot of her stuff, and these eyeliners are up there for me. They last a while, considering I'm somebody that sharpens them quite a lot, and I've got so many colours. This is the matte brown, which is what I like to wear in the day, but I've got like the shimmery brown, the darker brown, I've got the plum colour, which is gorgeous. I literally just shove this in my waterline, and I also like to do like my inner corner here, waterline, like upper. And then with that as well, I like to, because you know I wear a winged liner again to elongate my round eyes, but in the daytime I like to just kind of smudge it into my upper outer corner. Don't drag it out with the product, but then I get, it's very messy, but I just like it to be very smudgy. Then I get a little brush like this one here, which is just very tapered, very small, and I just kind of smudge it out with that onto my upper lid. just to, like I say, add a bit of intensity. Can add a tiny bit of a wing while I'm dragging out the product, and then I just get like my finger and just like clean up the edge with it like that. And that's literally all it takes in the day, like nothing really on your eyes at all. Okay, bit of contouring and blushing, nothing crazy. I'm going to use a bit of a nude sticks combination, and I've got their Nudies Matte All Over Face Bronze colour in shade Deep Maple, and then I've got the Nudies Bloom, which is like their blusher, in shade Bohemian Rose. These two paired are so nice. I'm just going to take a brush like this. I think this is, it's a MAC 171S brush. It's like a really dense angled brush. I don't even know, I don't think I bought it, I must have got it in PR, but it's very quickly become one of my favourites for adding a bit of cream contour. With the nude sticks, I personally feel like they drag my makeup off if I apply straight onto the skin, although I see so many people do it, so I don't know why I find that. So I like to go in with a brush and tap on the actual stick. And then I'm just going to apply this just here. You can just see it just adds a little something. This is quite a warm shade for me, but I do like it just to like add a bit of colour into my cheek. And then I go back in with my beauty blender to make sure that it's really sort of blended out. And when I tell you this barely adds anything, like I say, it's completely barely there. I'll just do a little bit up here as well, but it just gives you the definition. But we don't want any heavy powders, anything like that. I really just like my skin to breathe in the day. And then for the blush, I'm going to use this end of my Refi brush. It's like a dense round, and again just picking up the product from the stick. You don't need a lot at all. And then I just kind of bounce this just sort of in between, meeting where the bronzer contour and my banana low lighter is, just kind of to tie it all together. And then I just add any excess over my nose because I do like a bit of a blush nose look. But yeah, I think in next week's weekly diaries I'll give you some little life updates, but I just thought we could have some girly chats. Dating life is pretty non-existent for me. It was just a case of like the guy that I had dated for a little bit, I wouldn't say it was like we were dating, but like I'd been on dates with this person, so yeah, we'll say it like that. I just kind of realised, like, which I feel like I was saying to Laura, and she knew that I was gonna like call off with this guy, and like I'd done it. And like when I was updating her the other day, she was like, do you know what, that's actually growth for you, because there's been times where I've like recognised like non-alignment in people, Lord knows, but then I just kind of like run with it anyway, and then like you get yourself in so deep, and then before you know it, like you're moving to halfway down the country for them. Do you know what I mean? Like I haven't ever really been that great on acting on when I feel like something's off. So when I was telling Laura, Laura was like, do you know what, like well done you, because that's like growth in your character. And she's absolutely right, because I feel like this time I just don't have, like, it's not like I don't have the time to wait. It's like, do you know what, it is what it is. People are older these days, getting into serious relationships, people are older, getting married, having babies and that kind of thing. But I just think like I'm not ever going above and beyond for anybody ever again if I even think that we're gonna not survive like the future. And I've done that so much in the past. I'm just gonna add some Huda Beauty, what shade is this? Cherry Blossom Cake. It's like a pinky translucent powder, just a tiny bit. I'm a greasy oily gal and I will need to just set my T-zone a tiny bit. So just take a fluffy brush like this, tap it off, and then just brush it over any oily areas. But yeah, coming back to Laura and I's conversation, like what I'm looking for now is obviously like a life partner, like somebody I want to like spend the rest of my life with, and you know, get married, I don't know, maybe have babies one day if that works out. You know, I feel like I owe it to myself to take my time to make these decisions, and if something's not right, and like with this guy, I just felt like so much of who we are, like our values as people, just didn't align. We really have to consider these things now. Like I've learned so many lessons, unfortunately, from going through breakup, learning so much about myself, that I feel like I'll definitely meet the right person when it does happen, which is a really exciting thing to think about. For mascara, I'm going to use the YSL Brown Mascara. The only thing I'd say that lets this mascara down is the spoolie. Like it's such a chunky spoolie, which I've never really liked in mascara. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say with that is the longer you entertain what's not meant for you, the longer you postpone what is. It's one of the most powerful things I've ever heard, and it's so true. You know what, I've got loads of love to give. So when the right person does come along, I'm sure it'll be magical, but I'm just going to do a lot of like self-development in the meantime so that I can be like the best version of me, meeting somebody that aligns with that. So for lips, my favourite daytime lip liner is Doll Beauty Boy Bye. It's really true to tone, I'd say even more so than the likes of Morphe Sweet Tea, which I know is very popular. But if you look at this now going on my lips, I'm just gonna overline my Cupid's bow ever so slightly, but then when it comes down to this bit I don't overline. It's like a nice neutrally, I'd say brown. like a nudie brown, and see how it just like matches my lip tone perfectly. So again, your lips but better. Also, something that I know some of you would be interested to know, obviously I went to have my egg count tested. I went to go and have my fertility tested. I did like a little reel on it on Instagram, so if you've seen that then you'll already know this, but unfortunately my AMH count is like really quite low. It's supposed to be 24.13 for around my age group, and mine is 5.85, which means essentially I have quite a low egg count. Now that doesn't necessarily matter because it takes one good quality egg, and the quality, what I've learned, is much more important than the quantity. However, the group that I went to go and have the fertility testing with, they have recommended that I start looking into egg freezing, which is something that I wanted to do anyway. So they're like, if you wanted to do that anyway, like given your results, we would say just try and get the ball rolling as soon as possible. It's just a lot to deal with at the moment because I'm actually having surgery in probably like end of December, beginning of January. I haven't had a date confirmed yet, which is cosmetic, so I've got that coming up, and I've just got so much going on that now obviously this is another thing in the mix, and with this I need to come off my pill and regulate my periods and my cycle for 3 months before I can then go and have like a pelvic scan. That would be my next step, and then I can see the egg freezing doctor. And honestly, I'm petrified to come off the pill. Like, I've been on the pill for a hell of a long time, like over a decade, and I don't really know, it's always worked for me, but I don't really know what my body is like without being on the pill. Like I say, it's always worked for me. The reason why I went on it quite young was to regulate my horrific periods, and then I switched to a pill where you don't have periods altogether, and I've been on that now for a good while. So I don't even know what my cycle is, but they say that they need it to be regulated before obviously they can look at what is actually going on with like when you ovulate and all that kind of thing. So there's a lot going on right now, to be honest, because I've got like an impending surgery, and then I've also got like this going on where I do really want to freeze my eggs, and it's something I definitely feel like, given the results that I've had, which is so weird because I always had this weird hunch about my fertility. Like, I've never had a scare, and I know not everybody does, and I've been on the pill, so why would I? But there is times where I've been in relationships where I've like loosely taken it, and you know, I haven't even had a scare. Like, I just always had this weird hunch that like I would struggle to get pregnant, and I don't even know if I will. Like, the egg count doesn't necessarily mean that, like my AMH level, but I don't know, I just always had this vibe, and that's why egg freezing, when I became single, when I did, I was like, right, okay, what the fuck am I going to do? Because clearly I'm in no position. I'm not going to be having babies on this side of 35, more than likely, so I need to think about my plan long term, because essentially, if you think about it, if I try and have babies in my late 30s and I struggle, then IVF is a hell of a lot more expensive than if I'd have just froze my eggs at this age, at the count it's at now. And I think my success rate is like around 72%. I can't remember the exact figure from my report. If I freeze my eggs now, if I get 10 good eggs, my success rate of a successful pregnancy will be 72% when I eventually decide to use those eggs. So there's a lot of things that I'm considering, and like if I do, well, when I do, because it is something I'm definitely going to do, I will vlog it and do like a whole separate series like I have done with surgeries and stuff in the past, because I know I wish I had those videos to watch. I'm just going to put on the Ulla Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment. I've got a few of these. This is like the pinky tinted one. Really nice for daytime. Lip balms for me, I've got so many. Laneige nude sticks ones, I've got Ulla Henriksen, the Summer Fridays I love, the Rode ones I love. I've lost my Rode one because I switched the phone case when I got a new phone, and then not having the phone case actually means you lose the lip balm. Who'd have thought? It was actually made for a purpose. This one's really nice. It's just got like a nice little pinky reflect shine to it, like nothing crazy. So yeah, I've got quite a lot going on, but it's fine because I'm very good at spinning plates and keeping my head above water. These are just things that life throws at you, do you know what I mean? There's a lot worse things going on in the world. People are going through a lot worse, and you know, it will work out for me. And yeah, I have absolutely every faith, so I'm not stressed. That is pretty much my face done. Like I say, it's actually barely there. It feels like I did before I started even putting the makeup on. Like, it's nothing. Just gonna take the brow pencil. I just like to go for my beauty spots. Anyway, on that note, I've re-downloaded Hinge, which I didn't actually delete it, but I just deleted the app. I think my storage was full and I just thought that's got to go. I'm not even using it anyway. So I re-downloaded it, and do I think my dream man is on a dating app? If you'd have asked me that when I first downloaded Hinge, I'd have been like, no. But I have heard a lot of successful dating app stories, my best friend being one of them. She met her now boyfriend, who they're literally moving to the other side of the world together to be where he's from. They met on a dating app. They met on Hinge, actually. I'm just going to pop a bit of the Quarterly Beauty Elixir all over. I'm just going to go and shove some clothes on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm dressed. My hair's gone even more crazy. I feel like it's been growing outwards. Where are you going? basically into bed. I feel like it's been growing outwards the more that this video has been going on. I'm just going to add some Goldie Drops by Drunk Elephant, which look like this. In the family of the bronzy drops and the rosy drops that we all know and love. This is basically like a highlighting version, but very, very subtle. But I do feel like a lot of people use them like the L'Oreal Glotion under their makeup as well, but for me they're just a little bit too light. But they just add like something a bit subtle, so just work into the back of my hand. And I'm just going to bounce it literally just where the light will pick it up, on my nose and on my cheek. Anyway, that is it. That is everything. I am literally just gonna get on with my day. I hope you're enjoying like the alternate videos of like hauls, sit down chatty makeup and skin videos, because that's how my channel started and I feel like I really wanted to bring those back. But next week I will pick up the camera for a full week. Like I said, everything I can link I will link down below in case you want to get your hands on any of these products. I am gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you all in next week's weekly diaries. Bye.